I literally never thought I'd try a bullet journal. I didn't think it'd ever happen. And yet, here we are, trying bullet journal. Okay, so why didn't I think I'd ever try the bullet journal? Well, the original bullet journal system, I really thought it was like a glorified task list. I've looked at it before and I thought, oh, it's just a fancy way to do your to-do list, right? It's just a fancy to-do list. And I hate to-do lists. You guys, I hate to-do lists. But I realized something recently. I realized that I was only putting on my to-do list things that would maintain my life, things that just kept my life running the way that it's currently running. And the thing about that, it's really easy to put those things on a to-do list. It's really easy to come up with the things that you have to do, like cleaning your house or making dinner or taking your kids to their activities or any of the things that you have to do, things for your job that just keep your life going along the way that it's currently going. Those are your maintenance items. And that's all I was putting on my to-do list. So it was completely soul-sucking. I would look at my to-do list and just feel like it was the same every day. And none of these things are things that are propelling my life forward. None of these things are things that are actually making my life better because they're not things that are going to push my life towards my goals. And so I realized, duh, like, why did it take me so long to realize this? I have to put things on my to-do list that actually push me towards my goals. I have to put those things on my to-do list. Also, I hate looking at a to-do list and it reduces your life to what you accomplished. Like, where was I productive today? Well, maybe I took the day off to just spend time with my kid doing his favorite activity. And that is a worthwhile way to spend your time, connecting with the people that you love, doing the things that you love, pursuing your hobbies. Those are worthwhile ways to spend your time. But you can't do both at the same time, right? You can't be pursuing hobbies and spending time with your children and also simultaneously working towards your goals or being productive, unless one of your goals is connecting more with the people that you love. So there's something to consider. But anyway, basically I was looking at my to-do list as just this soul-sucking list of things that had to get done. And I realized that the bullet journal system actually isn't a glorified to-do list because it incorporates ways for you to take notes on those things that you're doing, that feed your soul, or notes about just random ideas or thoughts that you had. I think that's kind of the whole idea. Bullet journal. It's like a quick way to journal. So I don't know. I guess it was a series of thoughts that got me here, but I'm going to give it a try. And I've seen the super artsy bullet journals. I think they're beautiful. If that's your style, I love that for you. You should definitely keep doing that. That's not the style for me. I do art journal, but I just prefer to keep that separate. I don't want that to be part of my kind of productivity and micro journaling about my day and working towards my goals. Like, I just want to make art and then I just want to do my productivity stuff. Other thing that I'm doing is I really like small notebooks. I really like little tiny planners. It took me a little while to figure that out, but I've recently come to the conclusion that smaller is the size for me. So I have a tiny bullet journal that I just recently set up. I'm super excited about it so far. Let's take a look at it together. So I got this cover on Amazon. I'll link it below. It's not actually a notebook cover. It's meant to be just a passport cover, but it's really slim, really simple. It's got some pockets on the inside. I'll show you right now. So this is the cover for it. And then the notebook I'm using is from Daiso. It's this logical swing notebook, B7 size. I just put some stickers on the front to kind of personalize it. In here I have some financial tracking and some personal health tracking that I just keep on separate pieces of paper because I have a template that I print off my computer for my tracking so that I don't have to redraw that all the time. This is just a little art card that's in there just because I like the way it looks. And then I am currently using the Pilot G207 in this camel type color. I don't know the proper name of the color, but that's the pen that I am using with my new bullet journal. And I set it up just the way that Writer Carol recommends. This is definitely the original bullet journal system. So I have my index. I am numbering my pages. I'm starting with my goals page. I have an idea in my mind of what goals I'm working on right now. I just haven't found a way to write them down. So I'm thinking on that. I'll come back to this page later so that I can jot my goals down there. And then my next page is my future log. And I just have a column for each month, and I'm doing 6 months of future logs. And then I have my key. I am using different symbols than the original bullet journal system, although they indicate the same things. I'm just using different symbols. Like for a task, Writer Carol would have you put a dot. I'm using a square box for something that I could do, and a star for something I absolutely have to get done. He would say put a dot for both of those and then put the star on the outside. But I just decided to do that a little differently. I just set up something that worked for me. I did add in something else. This is an unplanned task. So that's something that I ended up spending my time on, but I hadn't planned it in advance. The reason that I want to include that is because I want to keep a pulse on what I'm doing with my day. If I didn't get one of my could do tasks done because I ended up deciding to do something else that had been nagging at me or something that came up during the day, I want to have like a documentation of that so that I kind of know how am I spending my time. This is a could do task that needs to get moved. Events, again, Writer Carol, I think he would have an open circle for that. The circle doesn't stand out enough to me. I made mine a triangle so that it really stands out so that I can see my events quickly and clearly. The one thing I might change is I chose to do a smiley face for a note. And the reason that I did that is because most of the time when I make a note, it's about my kids. And those things do make me smile. So I do think it's appropriate for what I anticipate using notes for, but I might change that in my next bullet journal. So I anticipate that this little notebook, it has 40 pages in it. So front and back, that's 80. I think that's going to last me at least 2 months, probably closer to 3 months. So I'll be in this little book for a little while. And then when I get started on my next book, I'll probably change my key. Sorry, I hit my tripod. Let me see if I can show you the grid on this. Well, let's go to a blank page so I can show that. So I love this notebook because it's mostly just a lined notebook. But if you can see, it has very faint lines going down. So it is a grid. You have little dots to mark the center of your page, so it makes it very easy to make columns. It already has an open space up here, so it's easy to put a header in. This notebook is $2 at Daiso. If it lasts me 2 months, I'll spend about $12 for a year worth of notebooks if I stick with this one. If it lasts me 3 months, even less. The ink does shadow a little bit. I think you can see that on this page. You can see a little bit of the writing from the other side, but it doesn't really bother me. I do enjoy the paper. It's like kind of an off-white color, which I really like. Okay, so after my key, I go right into my months, and I'm doing my months the way that Writer Carol recommends. Just a list view, just the day of the month, the day of the week next to it. The little dots are to indicate when a day is over. The X's over here are tracking when I go to the gym. I missed here quite a bit because I wasn't feeling well. But that's what that is. I could add in other tracking over here too. There's definitely space that I could do columns with other things I want to track, but right now I'm just tracking when I go to the gym. This is my daily house cleaning tasks. These are tasks that ideally need to get done every day. I recently posted a house cleaning video if you're interested in learning more about this system and how that fits into my life. And then I go right into my dailies, and I'm just using the rapid logging method that Writer Carol recommends. So after my month is dailies, and I just go right into a list. Now I am including a couple little collections, but I'm just going to pepper them in throughout my book wherever I want to. And this is really the only decor I'm planning on doing. Is occasionally I might put in a collection that I want to decorate just for fun. But I just put it in here on the next empty page. When I wanted to make this list, I just put it in here on the next empty page. And then I added it to my index, Cozy Video Games, page 11, something that I may want to reference in the future, because these are a short list of video games that I've been wanting to check out on the Switch. And then 100 crappy videos, that's a tracking sheet. I also have a video out about that. So if you're curious what that's about, go check that out. And then here we are on today. I'm filming my bujo video, so I'll be able to mark that off right there. And then I'll just keep adding to this list as the day goes on, stop wherever I stop, and then I'll just start right in rapid logging for Sunday. So I don't know, it's a pretty simple system. And honestly, I'm blown away at the idea that this could really track my whole life. Like, this really could track. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff I need to track for my job, so that's not in here. But if I did have things I needed to track for my job, this system could definitely support it, even in this tiny notebook. And actually, now that I'm thinking of it, there are a couple things for my job in here already. So I think that everything I need can be in this one tiny little planner. Just tiny little build as I go bullet journal planner. So I'm trying it. Have you ever tried bullet journaling before? What were your thoughts about it? Were you a more artistic bullet journaler, or have you tried this kind of pared down, just bare bones, how it was originally intended to be bullet journaling? Again, I think either is really great, but I'm just curious about your experience. Have you bullet journaled before? Leave it in the comments below, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next one.